Hey everyone, Security Dave here. Today we're going to be talking about some cybersecurity news. Today's article comes from Naked Security and is about a new Facebook feature called Off Facebook Activity. Facebook is rolling out a global tool to help you understand what other sites and apps tell it about your activities, to make it forget what they've shared in the past and how to control what they share in the future. It's called Off Facebook Activity, and it's part of a company's effort to appear more privacy-friendly to its users. Facebook first launched its Off Facebook Activity feature in August of 2019, making it available in a few select markets at first. It shows what third-party sites and apps share data with Facebook about your activities when you visit them. They also launched a clear history feature at the same time, which lets you disconnect that data from your account. This week's announcement sees the company rolling these tools out globally. Facebook doesn't just log what you're doing when you visit its site. It also interacts with many third-party sites and apps that you use. Those third-party sites send Facebook information about your activities, including things like opening an app on your mobile device, logging into it online using your Facebook ID, or even just visiting a site. Many sites also log your searches and purchases, or whether you added an item to a wish list or a cart. They do this in three ways. First, it uses Facebook Pixel. This piece of Facebook code is known more generically as a web bug, and it logs your activity on any site that embeds it, sending that information back to Facebook. The second is the Facebook SDK, which is a software toolkit that people can use to build similar capabilities into everything from mobile apps to PC games. There's also even one for tvOS, the operating system inside Apple TV devices. Finally, they use your Facebook login, which is a feature that lets you log into sites automatically when you're logged into Facebook. Sites and apps send Facebook this information along with unique identifier of the device that you're using, which they collect using a software tracker. Facebook also knows which device or what device you use, and it has your personal information too, so it can index your activity on all these sites against your real identity, not just a number. This is how the company builds incredibly detailed profiles of its users and what they do around the web. It doesn't sell that information to third parties, but it does use it to help them target ads. Users and governments have been increasingly concerned about this activity, especially in the wake of the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and the Off Facebook Activity function is Facebook's response to that. So I'd recommend you follow along and seeing what information is being collected on you also. I'll link to the article here in the description so you can read more about what they do and how to remove this information. But let's look at this Facebook profile I have set up. So I actually set up a profile for this securewithdave@gmail.com, which is the email address I use for these videos. And this Facebook profile, you can see, has absolutely nothing attached to it. It's me by myself with a fake name and my information here with this email address. So if you go to this little down arrow on the Facebook homepage here and go to Settings, and then go to Your Facebook Information, there's a section called Off Facebook Activity. From this page, they give you kind of a description of what Off Facebook Activity is, and they make it sound really nice and kind of warm and fuzzy here. So it says Off Facebook Activity includes information that businesses and organizations share with us about your interactions with them. Interactions are things like visiting their website or logging into their app with Facebook. Does not include customer lists that business use to show a unique group of customer relevant ads. So how does it receive your activity? When you visit a website or use an app, these businesses share the information about your activity with us using our tools. We use this activity to personalize your experience, such as showing you relevant ads. So, if you've ever been browsing for something and suddenly there's this creepy ad about how you want to buy this specific product, here you go. This is the reason. So how is it shared with Facebook? So Jane Doe here buys a pair of shoes from an online clothing or shoe store. Of course, they make this sound really nice and friendly. The store shares Jane's activity with using our business tools. We receive Jane's Off Facebook Activity and we share it with her Facebook account. This activity is saved as visited the clothes and shoe website and made a purchase, except it's probably a whole lot more granular than that. They probably know exactly what you bought, how much you paid, etc. Jane sees an ad on Facebook for a 10% off coupon for her next shoe or clothing purchase from the online store. So you will never-endingly see an ad regarding what you purchased. And would you like to come back? And maybe you'd like this other thing, because they do a lot of background analysis to say people who bought this thing probably would like to buy this thing as well. And that's where that, you feel like you had a conversation about it. Are they listening to me? It's because everybody kind of follows the same pattern. If you bought this and you bought this, you'll probably want to be buying this next. So you've been talking about it. We're all really unique until we're not really unique. So, all right, so you're off Facebook activity. Now bear in mind, this account has little to no activity. I think I created it yesterday, and I've been browsing, some of these articles and things. I did the previous article about the Avast antivirus right before this. So, I fit a few sites, and I reverted my virtual machine that I'm on right now back, but as you can see, they still store all that information up on the website here. So the other day I created a Duo account, so Duo has seen me and has reported back to Facebook that I exist and my interactions. Albertsons, now this one I don't really understand a whole lot about. I'm sure they must be all over the web, because I checked my personal account and I only had 45 websites and apps that have shared my activity. And Albertsons was one of the top ones. So Albertsons is tracking a lot. And then this one, this LMI Util, that website does not exist. I've looked; it's not really there. It looks like it's been a little while since it's reported back, but just the fact that there's some kind of tracker for this is really strange to me. So if you click on any of these, for instance, let's look at Albertsons. You can see they last received data about my account on this date, the 28th. Today's the 30th. This activity was shared using Facebook Business Tools, and they give you that same exact description. Sometimes it's the Facebook pixel, which is literally just one little dot on the screen that tracks your activity. You will never see it, and it's pretty much on. It's on like 95% of websites out there. I swear, it's everywhere. It tracks they know exactly what page you visited and so on and so forth. 12 interactions were received. Now, see, they don't give you what interactions, they don't give you a specific list of what interactions you had out there. Maybe you opened an app, logged into the website, visited a website. Now, Albertsons, I've never been to Albertsons.com on this computer or with this account attached to any computer that I've ever been to. So Albertsons must be tracking through some other sites. I don't understand. You'll have to dig deeper into that, but it's probably not worth the effort right now. And then they show you the date that they received updates from Albertsons. On my personal account, it was today. I can't say I know why, but they give you more information. If you click on learn more about Albertsons down here, they will take you to it looks like it's going to take you to their Facebook page. You can also turn off future activity from Albertsons. Now, if you click on this, you can go through and clear out all of these in bulk. Now, I'd be a little careful about that, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you can turn off ones individually. If you don't know where this information is coming from, you can certainly go and knock out one at a time through your list. Now, I personally, on my personal account, only had 45 accounts or 45 sites and apps that have information on me. That's still, I felt like that was a lot. But I asked a friend to check his, and he had over 300. So yours may, I'm thinking probably somewhere in between there, 45 and 300. If you let me know how many you see, I'd love to hear, how many sites are tracking you. Just give me a number in the comments. I'd be curious to see what you pull out of this activity. So now the thing to learn before you turn off this activity, if you ever use Facebook to log in to a site, turning this off will not allow you to log in anymore. Now that's really about the only downside I see of doing this. So like this middle one, if you're logged into Albertsons with Facebook, now I don't know, can you go to Albertsons.com and log in with Facebook and shop? I don't know. Albertsons a grocery store. I'd imagine maybe not. I don't know how they do it, but it'll also prevent you from logging into Albertsons in the future. So if you turn this off and you were to use Facebook login, for an Albertsons feature, you would be unable to do that. So now turning this off will disconnect your future activity. They'll also still receive activity from Albertsons, but it will be disconnected from your account. So now they'll still know that someone visited the page, but we're taking their word that it's not going to be connected to your account in the future. You may also see ads from Albertsons depending on what actions you may take on other sites. So if you visit, I don't know, another grocery store chain, Albertsons may say, hey, this person visited a grocery store chain. We're still going to say we want to sell them an ad for whatever. I don't know what other brands fall under Albertsons, but maybe this may affect you in some way. So now I'd be really careful before you start going and saying you can do a clear history, which would remove all history. This would delete all past history. You'll still receive, this will just wipe out stuff in the past. This won't turn off anything. You can also, I believe you can manage future activity and turn off all activity. We'll have to see if future Facebook activity saved within your account. So if you turn this off, this is still going to warn you that this is how you turn it off completely. If you never log in to any site using Facebook and you never want to be tracked to your account with Facebook, this would be the way to do it. You want to turn off everything. Now, I warn you again, if you ever want to log into something with Facebook, it will not allow you to. There are a few outlying examples where I personally use Facebook to log into something just because it's easier. If I'm, I don't know. I can't think of an example. I use my Google account to log into things. That's pretty standard because it's like when you download an app from the Play Store. Say you download a game from the Google Play Store. I don't want to have to create an account for it. Oftentimes, it just auto asks you, "Hey, do you want to use your Google Play account?" And I say, "Sure." And it says, "Okay, we're only going to store information about your playing activity." I say, "Okay, that's fine." Now, if it wanted to access my name and my email address and my whatever, I'd say, "I'm going to uninstall this." That sort of situation. Now, Facebook it's everywhere. So you may have all sorts of other things that you legitimately probably don't want to disable. Here's also where if you turn something off, you could turn it back on. You want to be careful that if you do turn something off, like here, I'm going to turn off Albertsons because honestly, I have no reason to ever have Albertsons tracking my display Facebook account for these security podcasts here. So I'm going to turn this off, see what happens. We've hidden this from your list, but your past activity has not been disconnected. You can always view and manage activities that you turn off. So let's go back in here. And it says, now activity has been currently turned off. You can see more about this activity. And you can see that they still have your information, but it's now you won't get any more further ads or targeted information about you when you browse from Albertsons. Now you can turn this back on if you were to say axe everything and it breaks some kind of website that you visit. You'd want to come in here to this manage future activities that you've turned off, and turn on a certain site. Just a few other things to note. This is an example of using Facebook to log in. If you've ever used this button here, continue with Facebook, that's what you're linking with this off Facebook activity. So when you use that feature, your information will show up here. That site will show up on this list. The other thing to note here is that my number might have been really low because I've installed ad blockers on just about every single browser that I use. Now I recommend always to use a good, you can use Firefox, you can use Chrome. I certainly would recommend those two browsers over any others. You could take your pick. I kind of switch back and forth between the two depending on what I want to do. But uBlock Origin is available for either. Just search for it. It's uBlock space Origin on the screen here, and just hit Add to Chrome. And this is an amazing product that's for free that goes and blocks all sorts of ads. Now it does block that Google tracking pixel and a lot of other stuff, so you may want to consider adding this to your browser and maybe switching to a browser that supports it. uBlock Origin is a great product. Thank you for joining me and learning about off Facebook activity and how to monitor and clear Facebook tracking. Please also consider adding uBlock Origin to your web browser to block this and other tracking. If you have suggestions for video topics, please leave me a comment below or email me directly. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again.